Ah! This is the new Alfa Romeo Giulia. It's really very good, and you have no idea how happy that makes me to be able to say that. Now, when it comes to the new Giulia, possibly the first thing that will come to mind is the full fat 503 brake horsepower Ferrari engined Quadrifoglio, which we will get into video quite soon. I have previously driven that, and I can tell you it really is on another planet. I genuinely think that if I had 60 to 70 grand to spend on a new car, it would be that one. The problem is that I don't have 60 grand. Most people don't have 60 grand to spend on a car, in fact. And so for the more modest budget, there is the rest of the Giulia range. But don't let that fool you into thinking that this is somehow second best. Yes, it might be the garden variety version, but this Giulia is every bit as beautiful and every bit as good. See, with these executive saloons, normally this is the part where we would just go ahead and show you the interior, but this one is a little bit more special than most, so oh sod it, let's go for a drive, eh? Now, the Giulia goes up against some really quite good cars like the BMW 3 Series, the Audi A4 and the Mercedes C-Class, so it kind of has to do the whole luxury thing, and it also has to drive well. And boy, it drives well. You can have it with a 2-litre turbocharged petrol engine with 179 brake horsepower, or a choice of two 2.2-litre diesels with either 148 brake horsepower or 178. All of them are all new, all aluminium jobbies, and it's the diesel that we have, the most powerful diesel, which is likely to be the best seller. Now, in the UK, these cars come exclusively with an 8-speed ZF automatic gearbox, and yeah, boo hiss, no manual, you say. It's a little bit of a shame, but honestly, with these big metal flappy paddles and really super quick shifts, this automatic is so good, you really won't give a damn. It's torquey and it's quick too. 0 to 62 miles per hour takes 7.1 seconds, while it can also return up to 67.3 miles per gallon with 109 grams per kilometre of CO2. Not bad at all, while it's also really, really good to drive. The steering is super sharp and super aggressive, while this car also comes with Alfa Romeo's Q2 limited slip differential, so you can really just bang it into the corners. It's also set up and damped really, really nicely. It feels like it's on the balls of its toes all the time. It feels quite agile, but that doesn't impact ride comfort, even in the most extreme dynamic mode. It bridges the gap between agility and refinement really well, while the brakes work well too and stop really hard. The diesel engine can be a little rattly and a little unrefined, particularly at full chat, but make no mistake about it, this is easily the best driving Alfa Romeo car in decades, and definitely rivals the best driving cars in its class. Potentially, it's even a little better. Now, the interior of the Giulia is something which has been a little controversial. Some people say it's too dark, too plasticky, and I can see where they're coming from, but all the same, I do quite like it. I like the minimalist layout, I like this easy-to-use rotary infotainment mouse. I love, love, love these big metallic paddles, and I also, of course, love the Ferrari-style steering wheel mounted ignition switch. Now, one thing that I do feel as though I have to point out is the hard wearingness of some of these plastics. I don't know if you can see all the way down here, but this car is pretty much brand spanking new. It's only got about 1,000 miles on it, it's not even run in yet, and already there seems to be a little bit of scuffing, a little bit of paintwork coming off around the ignition switch. Now, bearing in mind, of course, this is a press car, so no doubt those were 1,000 miles of pure torture, but all the same. As well as that, the sat-nav sometimes just doesn't know what it's doing, and the clock occasionally shows the wrong time, but you know, it wouldn't be an Alfa Romeo if there wasn't something a little bit rubbish about it, and all I can say is that I'm so happy that that's the worst of it. Overall though, it's a really nice place to sit with a spot-on driver-focused seating position and plenty of kit. This test car comes with the likes of parking sensors and reversing camera, DAB digital radio, lane departure warning and cruise control. In the back here as well, things are actually really quite good considering it's such a sleekly proportioned saloon. There's loads of headroom, pretty decent legroom as well, so absolutely no worries whatsoever for passengers. With 480 litres, the boot is about bang on par with its most direct rivals, while it's also well shaped and well proportioned for loading in larger items. Pricing for the Giulia starts from £29,180, which is a little more than its most direct rivals, but you do get a generous amount of equipment as standard. As well as that, as you move up the trim range, things start to even out. Mid-spec Super Trim starts from £30,750, while Technica and Speciale, £240 and £3,400 more respectively, are a little cheaper than equivalent cars from BMW, Audi, Mercedes, etc. There was some concern about residual values as well, given Alfa's slightly patchy history. They're not quite as strong as German competitors, and so finance will likely be a little more expensive. However, the diesel is still competitive in terms of both CO2 output and efficiency. Even the regular Giulia really does feel so terrifically special. I'm not sure whether that's on its own merit or because, dare I say it, expectations were a little bit low after decades of sort of middle-of-the-road Alfa badged cars, but this really does make up for it and then some. Executive saloons like this one can sometimes be a little lacking in emotion. They lack heart, but the Giulia has it in absolute spades, and the fact that it's so pornographically gorgeous is only a bonus. Remember, of course, that there is also meant to be a 3-door Giulia Sprint on the way, while the Stelvio SUV is built using the same platform and the same engines. So here's hoping that Alfa Romeo takes the ball and runs with it for a very long time indeed. Anyway, if you would like to know more about the 2017 Alfa Romeo Giulia, you can click on the link that's on your screen now. If you would like to watch another one of our videos, click on the other link. And we have got some really cool content coming up in the next couple of weeks, so if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do it.